Hello everyone! Today we will tell you about the movie Deep Water. The married couple lives an ordinary life, except that the wife loves to go out with other men, and her husband forgives every betrayal. One day, Vic returns home and notices Melinda sitting on the stairs. After exchanging glances, she goes up to the top floor. Another day, a nanny comes to watch their little daughter Trixie as the couple has to leave for dinner. Melinda asks Vic to help him choose a dress and says how much she loves it. There were a lot of people at the place where the dinner was taking place. Vic talks to people about his daughter. Melinda took advantage of this moment and quietly left. A couple of minutes later, Vic notices Melinda hugging this guy and taking him somewhere. Vic follows them, after which he stands in front of the window and watches their fun. Melinda saw her husband, but she didn't even think about stopping. A woman approaches Vic and asks where he gets the strength to endure Melinda. Vic's answer was very simple. Melinda and that guy are ordinary friends. Melinda drank a lot and started playing the piano. Vic meets Joel. Vic hints that Melinda's past friend has disappeared without a trace. Joel can't figure out if Vic is telling the truth, which makes him want to leave the party quickly. Melinda asks her husband what he told Joel. He answers, nothing, after which Vic puts the drunken Melinda into the car. Upon arrival home, Melinda takes off her dress, not even embarrassed by the nanny. Vic is clearly uncomfortable with this behavior and asks to apologize to the nanny, arguing that Melinda grew up in another country. Left alone, Vic asks to choose friends with good intelligence. Melinda jokingly asks if Vic chose his wife in the same way. Before going to bed, Vic goes into his garage. There, he keeps large snails, which he loves to watch. A new day is coming. After breakfast, Vic takes his daughter to school. There, a neighbor calls out to him and tells him about a rumor in which Vic killed his neighbor and hid his body. Vic tries to remember who exactly started this rumor, but he doesn't remember anything. His friends are also interested in this rumor. They assume that Vic has taken revenge for their relationship with Melinda. Vic tries to explain that it is a lie, but they are reluctant to believe it. At home, Melinda throws a tantrum and says she doesn't like Vic driving her friends away. During dinner, Joel says he got a new position in another state. It was because of this that he decided to leave, which is why Melinda invited him to a farewell dinner, which will be held at their house. Night is approaching. Vic came to his daughter to read a fairy tale. Trixie says she doesn't like Joel. Vic fully supports her. And when he returned to the first floor, he saw Melinda having fun with Joel. After Melinda left the room, approaching Joel, Vic decides to talk about the rumor that Martin is missing, hinting that this could happen to Joel as well. A few days later, Vic meets Wilson. Melinda interrupts their conversation, saying that Vic is very smart and created a chip that is now used by the US Army. Neighbors are wondering about Vic's state of mind because his development could take other people's lives. However, Vic doesn't even think about it, after which he asked Wilson's wife, Kelly, to dance.
Oh, he done gave her a dip. Oh, boy. Oh, damn.
Already in the car, Melinda suspects that Vic decided to go left. Tomorrow, the football match begins, where their daughter is participating. Vic received a call from the bank because a large sum had been transferred from Melinda's account to a guy named Charlie. Vic immediately creates a suspect map and finds the right Charlie. He works as a musician in one of the city's bars. Vic takes off the table and stays to watch. Sometime later, Melinda enters the bar and immediately approaches Charlie. Vic returns home and finds his wife's engagement ring left in the bathroom, when suddenly they talk on TV about finding Martin's killer. When Melinda returned home, he told her about this news. Tomorrow, a father and daughter are coming to the shelter to pick up a little puppy, and on the way home, he sees the same Charlie, who is carrying a bouquet, which later ended up on their dining table. Melinda never came home that evening. Only at the first rays of the sun did Melinda open the door. Vic asks what the money was spent on. Melinda won't say anything. And in general, it was Vic who insisted on their marriage. If Vic wants to get a divorce, she won't mind. One day, a party starts at their house. The musician Charlie comes there. Melinda is incredibly happy about such a guest and shows him to Vic. Charlie shows with his entire body that he is uncomfortable with this conversation. Later, Melinda again begins to show signs of attention to Charlie. Vic doesn't like it. It begins to rain heavily, forcing the guests to run inside the house, but Charlie was not among them. Melinda can't find her friend and goes looking for him, but it was too late. Charlie died. All attempts to perform artificial respiration led to nothing. Melinda immediately accuses Vic of murder, but no one believes her since the guy was very drunk, which could have caused his death. The officer begins questioning Vic. Almost all the time he was close to the guests, and at the time of his death, Vic was in the kitchen, which indicates a burn from the stove. The officers have to leave. Melinda hopes that one day Vic will die too. Later, he suggests that the girl get a divorce since she thinks he could be dangerous. Surprisingly, Melinda refuses, since Vic's action was for the sake of Melinda. Vic's mind flashes to moments where he strangled Charlie. While driving around the city, he notices that he is being followed. Kaylee comes to work with him. She says that it is her husband who is spreading rumors because he is sure that Vic is a murderer. Then Vic invites them to come over for dinner. They accept his invitation. While the women go outside, the guys go into the garage. Vic asks the man to stop spreading false rumors, but Wilson stands his ground. He even offers to take a lie detector test, and Vic doesn't mind at all. Tomorrow, he again meets the same car. There is a camera on the front seat. His wife and a private detective were sitting in the cafe. Vic immediately comes to Wilson's house and shows him the transaction from the bank. They hope to find something to convict Vic of murder, and upon returning home, he finds Melinda in the company of a new man. The wife is talking on the phone and lets slip that she wants to go on a trip to Brazil, but she doesn't want to communicate with Vic at all. A little later, Melinda's old friend, Tony, comes to their house. It turns out he was her first boyfriend in America. A smile appears on Vic's face. Tony came up with the idea to cook some snails that Vic is breeding. Melinda supports this idea, but Vic is categorically against it. For the rest of the day, Vic just watches Melinda and her friend. They end up locking themselves in the next room. Tomorrow, Vic meets Tony and offers to show him a good plot to buy. However, he takes him to the forest and hits him on the head.
I'm sorry, stop!
Tony falls down and dies. Vic has to hide the body in the river and return home as if nothing had happened. A few days later, the family comes for a picnic to the river where Tony was hidden. Vic falls into a stupor because a body has begun to appear from under the water. Tomorrow, he hurries to the river as quickly as possible, and Melinda finds Tony's documents in the garage. This confirms her suspicions. The girl packs her things to escape from Vic, but her daughter drowns the suitcase. Wilson notices Vic. A chase ensues and Wilson falls into a cliff. Later, Vic returned home, taking us to the beginning of the film. Melinda burned Tony's documents, hiding all the evidence, and decided to live the rest of her life with Vic. This is where the film comes to an end. We will be glad to see your like. We'll be back very soon. Bye.